be like a B tape, you know, where you're practicing getting everything ready, making sure that you're together. B-roll. No, actually, because like right here, it fits real good. But I did forget to grab the pin though, so I have to turn it off this way. All right, so it's gonna be B-roll. This is gonna be the take. We're gonna do it. This is it. Okay, let's do it. All right, what's up, YouTube? We're gonna do a repot with me. This is gonna be my first repot with me, so it's gonna be kind of exciting. Got a lot of plants that we need to repot. Probably won't repot all of them here on video. Maybe we'll do it and we'll speed it up and just have it run silent in the background. But we're gonna jump in, and I have a guest with me today. I'm jumping in and say hi. What are you doing? You're supposed to jump in and say hi. You're not supposed to hide from the camera. You're going the wrong way. You're supposed to reach over and say hello. All right. Well, no, not like the headless YouTuber, but she'll be like the half body YouTuber, and she's only going to show the half that you can't see. Yeah, pretty. My dog. So our dog can open and close the door by himself, but he insists on somebody letting him in as soon as he goes outside. So I'll be right back. Oh, never mind. I won't be right back. He's just let himself in. All right. Easy enough. So, oh yeah, where did you get this at? Let's get this in the screen here. So when we were at the pop-up, in the Epigenera pop-up in Seattle, we bought one of these from one of the people that were also there, and they belong to a Seattle forum or a Seattle plant group, and we're selling these, and we thought it was kind of cool. I like it. It's good for being portable and rolling up and being foldable, but I still stand by this. I love this IKEA tray. I don't know why, but this is it for me. This is a good thing. Okay, so today we've got some plants that need to be transitioned from water into probably a leca moss mix, and so we're going to go through that process. One of them happens to be probably one of my favorite new plants. Is it a giggy? Jiggy. A jiggy? Getting jiggy with it? Animated. All right, so one of them's the jiggy.
No, Gigi.
The jiggy. We don't say the real name. You can look up the real name, but we call it the Gigi or the Gigi. But we don't. We don't call it that. All right, but yeah. So the thing that I like about it is that one, it's got great color, great form. It's got a leathery texture to it. Nothing real special. Like it doesn't have like silver veining. The sinus is actually very symmetrical. The petiole is slender, not fuzzy. It's just a nice solid plant. You know, it's like your Honda of plants. If you're a car person, I'm also a car person. So I'm a plant person and a car person, and this is your Honda of plants. Yeah, and I bet you this will last a long time, and we'll get a lot of mileage out of this. Anyways, all right. So this, why am I repotting this actually? Let's get back to that. So if you'll notice, it's not super happy about being in water, and I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's an anthurium thing, but we've noticed that with our anthuriums, we try to acclimate them or, you know, rejuvenate them or rehydrate them in water. But for some reason, after like 24 hours, they just don't like it. They start bubbling. The water starts smelling bad. And it's not with all anthuriums. Like I have a couple of these. This looks like an ace of spades, but it's not. What is this? This is, this is a cross. But it's mixed with something.
No, it's from the thing. It's no mix.
This isn't from the thing.
Okay.
This is an import. I'm dead sure this is an import. This isn't from the thing. This is a Magnificum crossed with, I want to say Papillominum. I don't know. I'll find out, but I'll figure it out. We're making the video way too long. We just barely got started. But like this one, I have another one that's just like it. Same plant, same everything, and it's fine. The water's not cloudy. and it's not, let me get to the right side here. So the water's not cloudy, it's not having a lot of unhappiness, I'm not getting a lot of discoloration like what you're seeing on this one, but for some reason this one is just not happy. And so if I see a situation like this, it's best to just get it into something else and see if it's going to be happier. And so that's why we're going to be repotting these two plants today. And then Marvick is already going to town. You've already started. She's fast. She's fast at everything. That looks weird. That is not what that plant looks like. That's a weird shot, but it looks like a backwards V shape. But it really is supposed to look like that. It's kind of weird. Wide, narrow. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna jump into this. We've got some different stuff here. We've got some leca that has been washed out. Maybe I'll do a little clip insert of me washing it out, and washing it out in a tub instead of in the sink. One of the members of the Facebook group that I admin called attention to the fact that I was doing it in the sink, which is really a good thing to call attention to, because I used to call attention to it when my wife did it in the sink. And so
Yeah.
so I got called out for something I call somebody out on, and I changed my ways. So there you go. We've got our, let me get this please. We've got some sphagnum moss. Obviously this is probably not enough, but we've got more down here to the side, so we'll be good to go on that. And we've got some root water down there to the other side of us, and so we're gonna just kind of get into it. I don't know if we're gonna do a whole lot of talking while we're doing this part, but we'll kind of go that route and just kind of get started. If I had enough people watching the video, I'd say, hey, if you have questions or something, leave those questions in the the comments. The comments down below. Well, let's go over here. Down below, over there. Maybe not over there, but the comment section. So hopefully, eventually, we'll get enough subscribers. We'll get enough people to where we can have some interaction, some engagement, some conversation about plants in some form, and then we can do a real Repot Me where I'm talking to you about stuff as we are planting. All right, let's get started, or I'll get started because you've already started. But the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of this water, actually. And you know what? So here's another thing. I like to rinse the roots out when you're in a situation like this where it's got that cloudy water. So the roots are good and they don't smell bad, which is nice, because sometimes roots can smell really bad, and then it's like, you know, am I too late? Am I going to be able to save it? And you have to go through that scary moment. But these roots actually smell really good. It's in good shape. The plant's really happy other than showing the cloudiness in the water, so I want to get it switched out. But I'm going to rinse these roots out really fast, so I will be right back, and Marvick will be right here just doing her thing on the side where you can not see her. Oh, what you got there?
No, I'm thinking of cutting the butt off so I can start a new plant out of this.
Yeah.
Look, the roots started on the top.
Oh yeah.
And
You got your
I
trunk.
have like maybe 3 inches in here that I can cut off and start a new one if I wanted to be a little bit greedy.
Like Sean.
I know.
He's not greedy. He's actually really good. That's one person that can propagate. That can propagate the
Anything.
yeah, especially the Aglaonema pictum tricolor. Oh my gosh, I've killed so many of those things. It's ridiculous. And I chop them up and I do various things. Like I try to stick them in the dirt like he does. I try to stick them in the water. I try to stick them in a prop box. None of that ever works. They all just get mushy and die. And he's like, oh yeah, I chopped it all up. Now I got 100 plants. And he does. What you doing? You ducking out of the view again?
I did not know. You know you're greedy.
All right, well, let's get back to this. All right. This is kind of a bigger one. I need a better vase. What do you think? I kind of want one of the tall ones.
Okay.
Maybe. Let's see. Let's take a look. All right.
Can I see?
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's not mushy?
No, it's happy. I know, huh? I'm surprised too. So if we go in like that, let me get over here. I moved this way too far now. I'll have to adjust it. See, look, we're already at 10 minutes. We're gonna have to like speed through half of this and pretend like we didn't have this conversation. So I'm thinking maybe about right there is gonna be nice. And the hard part is that this is already kind of a tall plant. And so if I do it like this, I'll probably have to do some homework and see if I can not have this in the grow tent and maybe out in our scary humidity, because our humidity in this house right now averages between 25 and 30% because of all the renovation that's going on. But I really like this plant, and I wouldn't mind seeing it out. So I'm thinking, let me try that smaller one. Let's see. All right, so let's try this. But if I do it, it's probably gonna. I don't think that's gonna
I
give
don't know
me.
what's going on with this, so I will cut them off.
And chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? Taller one's better, huh?
What do you think will support the weight then?
It's not very heavy. I think this looks better. We'll see. Well, maybe we'll try and acclimate it into our humidity slowly, because I want to do it right, and I think that this is the right pot for it. All right, let me give that back to you. All right, so the way that we've been doing this lately, I don't know where to put this plant because I don't want to put it back in that water, is that I like to use the leca as almost like a water basin that prevents the water from getting onto the roots, but still allows the water to be in the pot and waked up by the sphagnum moss. Kind of the same way that you would if it was just leca. So if it was just leca from top to bottom, the water would be down here, and then the upper part of leca would wick the water from the lower part that's already inside and submerged in the water. But in this case, what we have found that we like the most for this phase of our plants is just to fill the bottom part, like this. Just fill the bottom part up, like right there. So, and then our water line would be like right here, or I guess if we're doing it this way, it would be like right there is going to be the water line, giving you a little bit of degree of separation from the roots. And then the roots have the ability to wick up the water from the sphagnum moss, and the sphagnum moss is wicking up the water from the leca. So it's a whole lot of wicking going on. Wouldn't you agree? A lot of wicking? Wiki. All right. So that's that part of the process. Awesome. Next is getting this into here, and just kind of, we're not going to place it all the way in there, but we're just going to kind of, we're going to set it and kind of look to see about where is it going to sit, how much of the root's going to be, you know, touching the bottom of the leca. And the camera's not too high. The camera's okay. Don't judge me. You can judge me. It's okay. We might. Well, see, the thing is, if we drop the camera, you're not going to see my head, and then I'll be the headless YouTuber. But you'll see what I'm doing. I could come back here and do it, but then I'd have to move the camera back over that way. And then if I do that, though, I've messed with this a little bit. What happens is when I want to go ahead and do a shot where I'm showing them what the roots look like up close like that, the camera's so far back that it actually doesn't give me that feel that I want to give them. I learned.
But you are.
I'm potting it, and they can't see me potting it.
And that's what the video are about.
So what I'll do then is we'll go back and forth, because I don't have one of those adjustable cameras. That would be kind of cool. Christmas. And so I'll pause it, and then we'll focus it down on the plant, and then we'll come back and we'll focus it back on us. And look here, we're just going to do this like this. Boom. Okay, and we're back. All right, so hopefully now you have enough room. What you doing over there? All right, hopefully now we have enough room where you can actually see what's happening from top to bottom pretty much. So as I was demonstrating before, is that I like to just kind of set the plant in there, see what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, and then I'll kind of fill it in with the sphagnum moss from there. And so the next step is going to be to do that. Now our sphagnum moss is already pretty damp. I'm just going to carefully set this right here for a second. Okay. but I want to make it just a little bit more damp because I feel like it's just not quite damp enough. It's close. Well, this section's damp enough. We'll just use this section. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I don't want to ruin these roots. I want to keep the roots happy. Just lost a root. That root is no longer happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some and put it up here in the middle so that the roots can kind of work their way around it. And then I'm going to take some more and kind of create a sphagnum moss type root ball. Kind of like that. Without putting too much, you don't want to put too much pressure on the roots because you don't want to break them. And then you want to put some of the moss in the bottom so that you can kind of get to the height that you're looking for. And it's okay to pack it down like this when the plant's not in there, but if you pack it down like that while the plant's in there, you're going to probably break and kill some roots. And so now we're going to just kind of slightly, slowly, easily edge that in there. And then I'm going to push down on the edges a little bit, but not anywhere where the roots are. And then I really don't even like to pack it. And what I really like to do is I like to use a chopstick and just kind of push it in there a little bit on the sides. Hon, will you grab your chopstick, please? Okay. So while we're waiting for that chopstick, we're going to kind of just get a feel for what this is going to look like. And we're looking good there. And then what you can do, it might be hard on a plant that's this big in a pot that's this big, is sometimes you can just let it do a little tap on the bottom like that to let it settle. And that way you're not going to jeopardize your root system when you're filling it up. Okay, chopstick in the house. Alright, so this way I can see the root, I can make adjustments, I can fill in gaps and not damage the root because I can see the root and actually work my way around the root as I'm getting all of the gaps filled in. And it's okay to have a little bit of gap. Somebody once said, don't have any gaps. You can't have any gaps. It was on somebody's video. I don't know whose it was. But what I realized is when I did that and I packed it in so tight, I'd go to water it and the water would sit at the top and it wouldn't go down because it was packed full of sphagnum moss. Yeah, the air, yeah. You don't get the exchange of air and water. And so the water sits up top and nothing goes down to the bottom. And it takes like 15 minutes to water each of your plants because of the fact that it's not allowing any of that water to go down into the bottom. So I'm just going to work it around right here a little bit real quick. Okay, awesome. So now I think we're in a good place. Got our leca down bottom, got plenty of sphagnum moss in here, and that's going to give us a lot of opportunity for a lot of moisture for the root system, but not allowing it to get like soaking wet, and we don't have to worry about it getting dried up. This isn't the type of plant that I would put on a moss pole, but I am seeing that it's got a little bit of wiggle in there, and I'm not going to cover up these top aerial roots. I might cover them just a little bit, but not so much. And so what I might do is take like a plastic pole, and I like to use plastic because wood will rot, but I might take a plastic pole and stick it in the bottom and then attach it to it just to give it some support and stability. But if I'm not really moving it around anywhere, I think we might be okay to even not do that. But we'll see what that looks like when we cross that bridge. So we're going to just put a little bit in here. I will give you all of the moss. And then I have no moss. Alright. So that's what that looks like there. May I have some root water, please? Okay, best thing for your plants is Arizona sweet tea. Plants love Arizona sweet tea. Don't get your plants Arizona sweet tea. It's just, but this container is awesome. Really strong, really solid. If you are looking to have a good, cheap container that is 1 gallon that you can fill up and refill with root water. I highly recommend Arizona iced tea or sweet tea, and it's not a commercial for Arizona sweet tea, but I do actually really like Arizona sweet tea, so it's convenient. Works out well for that purpose and for this purpose. So we're gonna just kind of fill this up in the bottom here. Not too much. And then sometimes what might happen is you may end up in a situation where you have filled it up too much. And me, what I'll do is I'll hold the plant, make sure it's secure, and then we'll use this. What I'll do is if I've overfilled it and I don't want to waterlog my plant, so I'll hold it up like that, and you can just take that excess water and pour it out until you are at the level that you want to be at. I don't think you can see it. I can't get it to, maybe you can see that, probably not. I don't know if it's even showing on that side. Yeah, it is, but let's see. So like right there is where the water level is, and that's probably about right. And honestly, I could probably even go all the way to the bottom of the leca, because I ended my roots like right here, but I like to give that little bit of extra room because my roots are still growing, and that way it gives me some time to let the root system build up, get stronger, and grow before I have to switch it back out again. So that is how I transfer from water into a sphagnum moss and leca mix. And so if you have any questions, leave them below and we can get to those in the next session. If you have advice, leave it below and we can get to that in the next session too, because I'm fairly new to this. I'm maybe 1 year, 2 years.
I'm 2 years.
She's 2 years in. I'm 2 years watching, maybe 1 year doing. Can't beat them, join them type of situation.
And outbeat.
Outbeat, not outbeat. You just join them. So yeah, but yeah, it's a shared passion now, and so super excited about that. So that's gonna be pretty much the end of this part of the video. We're gonna go ahead and continue doing what we got to do with the rest of these plants, because we've got a lot more that do need to go through this process, and I'll just maybe speed that up or put some music on behind the background so that you can kind of watch and hear, and we'll just kind of go that route, and then you can stop the video at whatever point in juncture that you want to. But if you make it to the end, even if you don't make it to the end, I have to get in the habit of doing this. Don't forget to subscribe and like, because I want to make more videos. I feel like this is fun, and I hope that you guys enjoy them. And maybe subscribe and don't like, but subscribe and scribe, as in write what you don't like about it, so that I can make adjustments for you as we go forward. What about that? Okay, so we're going to jump into this. I'm going to stop it just because when I do the speed up video part of the process, it's a lot easier to just separate it for a second. So here comes the degree of separation. B-roll. Okay, bye. Bye. Say it. They can't hear you. Do the glad hands. Bye. Oh wait, that's not glad hands. Glad hands is a plant that's behind us. But
That's not pinapon.
no, there's a glad hands back there. There's a variegated glad hands. All right. Anyways, bye. All right. Ready? Okay. Well, before I speed up the video, if you don't want to use those clips, like they have little clips that you can buy that will hold the plant in the right position. But what I like to do is I'll just poke a hole in the solo cup, or the pseudo solo cup. This actually is a solo cup, though. It's a nice one. And then you can tie it off, and then it'll hold the plant in place while it's doing the rooting process. And you don't have to worry about it falling all over the place or getting damaged or anything like that. Oh, but now I have to. Okay, now we'll speed it up. Alright, so one of the things that you might have noticed me doing in the last couple plants is taking a look at the roots and then smelling the water. Just kind of taking a look at it and smelling it, because this water has actually recently been added. This is probably only like 2 days old, and so that's the reason I'm not going through and I'm rinsing off the root system, because the roots have been rinsed off very recently, like just 2 days ago, and so they're going to be okay to not be rinsed off as I transfer them into the leca moss mix. So we'll go ahead and jump back into what we're doing. I'll keep going. One of the things that you might also notice is that on import roots, when they're a little bit newer, you're going to see a combination of old roots and new roots. And then sometimes you'll even see new roots coming out of old roots. I try to not have to reroot the whole plant, is honestly, because then you might lose some leaves and your plant might not survive. But one thing that you can do is I like to just kind of gently pull on the root system and see what's going to come off, because what's going to happen is the old dead roots, they will come off, but the roots that are still good and providing nourishment to your plant, they will stay on there. And that way you know that the root system is actually pretty good. And this one, it looks like it's more dirty than anything, but this one actually has a really good root system on it, if I can get in there. And that's not going to rot. That's actually in really good condition. So maybe we can find, so like if you look, go this way, there you go. Struggles real. So if you look like right there, you'll see that there's even a lot of new growth coming off of these smaller roots that somebody might mistake and say, oh yeah, those aren't going to make it, that's not good. Well, this plant has actually been with me for a while now, and these are new roots that are growing out of the older roots, because I didn't have to cut off very much, if anything, from the original root system. So something to keep in mind. You don't always have to start over, and it's better not to if you don't have to. All right, and since we're running with this one, I'm going to go ahead and pop this one up while I talk to you. Let's go. Sorry, that's probably super loud. It reminds me of Kaylee Ellen when they drop onto the aluminum table that she has. If you ever watch Kaylee Ellen, I like to watch Kaylee Ellen. Shout out to Kaylee Ellen if you watch this. I'm sure you won't, because I'm new and, you know, whatever. Maybe we'll get there one day. But yeah, let's get to our next step. Drop some of that in the bottom just to give a buffer for the water and the leca. And let's build our root ball. Again, we're wrapping the roots up, but we're not smashing them. And we're going to take that old root ball and we're going to drop it down in there like that. The packing method here. And then get some water in this guy. And if you see spots that are like a gap, like right in here, it's a pretty good gap. We'll just go back in and fill that in. No big deal. And again, another thing that I like to do is fill in little sections there. Just make sure we're not getting any of the root system. Just let me get a little bit more down in here. You can't see this very well on camera, so I'm just going to do it off camera because I do want to get that taken care of. Just filling in the little gap down bottom. And again, kind of like I was saying earlier, don't pack it too tight because then the water won't go down in exchange with the air. And you might have saw me also doing this. I like to just turn it so that I can make sure I've got even saturation in my sphagnum moss. And then after that I can check the water level and see if the water level is where I want it to be at. We're still a little bit high on this, so I'm just going to pour a little bit of the water out, like so, and then we are in good shape, and that should be a happy ring of fire. Okay, we're going to go back to speeding up the video, so I'm going to pause it, be right back, and we'll be back in speedy mode. Maybe it's going to take forever to find the button. Speedy mode. Some attention right away, and it is this regale. It, like the other anthuriums that I talked about earlier, it also is just one that does not like, I don't know if it doesn't like being in water in a compact space, because I have another regale that's in a larger container and it's happy temporarily, but I think that they just don't like being in a compact space in their own roots in water, because I don't think the roots like to be saturated in water as it is anyways, but we were trying to get them rehydrated. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one repotted, and then we'll go ahead and close out the video for real this time. Okay, let's get this done. But again, as stated, I'm going to go ahead and pause this video so that I can do it in faster motion, speed, I don't know, speed up video, whatever you call it. Alright, so I think that Kaylee Ellen might be onto something with the whole Aleka thing. For those that don't know, her her plant wall at the base of it is Aleka, and I think that she has a lot of plants that are in Aleka. Now that I'm thinking back, I might have to do some more research and homework on that. Kaylee, if you're watching this, please correct me. But I think growing the plants in leca, which I think that she does do, is going to be a good thing for anthuriums, especially the ones that are the bigger anthuriums, or the ones that like that chunky aroid mix if you were to use like a soil type mix, because the ball structure, that's awkward. The way the leca balls are designed is they're bigger than a piece of soil, so it gives the roots of the anthurium something to grasp onto, and I think that there might be something to that. So with this particular plant, this regale, I think what I'm going to try and do is grow it purely in leca and see how it does, because it obviously doesn't like being in water. And as much as I like the whole idea of putting it in a mix of leca and sphagnum moss, I think what's going to happen is eventually it's going to have to move strictly into leca or strictly into some type of soil anyways. And the direction that I want to go with this is going to be in the direction of the leca versus a soil mix. So that's what we're going to do. This will be the last part of this video, and we will close it out on that note. But I wanted to share that with you because I don't want to do a whole nother video just on this, although I will say that this does, I mean, the size of this, man, look at that. This does deserve, hello, how are you doing today? This does deserve a video of its own. Yeah, let's get this in some leca, and then we can close it out there. All right, it's gonna be noisy. I'm gonna alter my methods just a little bit here, and I'm gonna use a cup in order to get the leca into the glass. You might have to mute that or something, turn the volume down. I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but there's that. And actually, let's take a look here. Let's see where we're at. It's really kind of a small vase for this guy. I have a bigger vase, but yeah, this is just kind of overbearing. I guess it would be okay if we just didn't go all the way down. Like we just, how am I going to do this? Let's see. Maybe I'm going to do this like that. And then I can go to like right there. I still have some roots that are going to be pretty low. I think if I pin it over there, carefully pin it a little bit there, because these anthurium roots, until they harden up, they actually are super soft. I mean, they're firm. The ones that are mushy are probably going to die off, but the ones that are okay are firm, but they're still tender in comparison to other types of roots, in my opinion. But yeah, let's try this. Okay, it's super loud. Here we go. Super loud. Hang in there. Okay, maybe not as loud as I thought. Also not as loud as I thought. Alright. So let's try a little something like that. And that's still going to give us plenty of opportunity for the roots. Oh, long dramatic pause. Plenty of opportunity for the roots to actually grow. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this and carefully pour this in there. So turn it around. Straighten them out a little bit. Maybe bring it forward some. I feel pretty good about that. Let's see. So we're pretty much fully covered in there. Still have opportunity and room for the leaf to grow out and not get caught up on the side of the glass. And got some space in the base So about like from there down, we can fill that with water and not have to worry about the roots getting wet. And then we got a little bit of a root check spot there. Oh my, this is heavy. So as long as that root's doing okay, I think that we'll be good to know that it's doing okay. And I don't want to cover up the whole base of the chunk. I do want to cover it up just a little bit more, but not fully. Got a piece of pumice out of there. Maybe even a little bit more than that. Okay. There we go. I feel good with that. So we're gonna give that a shot. That's obviously a lot of leca, but I think that in the end, if this plant likes it, it's worth it, because the last thing that I want to do is lose a plant of this size. And who knows, you know, sometimes things just happen, and we might lose it anyways. But I think that this is going to give it a really good fighting chance, and I think that this vase actually also has enough stature to kind of say, hey, I can support you, huge leaf, and hopefully that will help as well. Okay, we'll close it out here. Again, this is Teray, Armstrong Aroids, plant enthusiast and rare plant enthusiast. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I think that's 3 times now, but I really want to make more content for you guys, so I'm super excited, and I really want to know that you guys are out there. So please take the opportunity to do so, and until next time. This is not the remote for the phone. Where is the remote for the phone? Ah. Bye.